Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to attempt to connect an iPod to an iPhone using iOS 13. Now many of you may remember that when you would hook up an iPod to your Mac or PC, it would show up as a disk on your desktop and you were able to read and write files to it. So let's see if the same thing happens on the iPhone. I'm going to plug it into the camera adapter kit here. I don't need any external power in this port because the iPod has a battery. Let's plug it in and see what happens. And there it is. What's interesting is the iPhone battery is actually charging the iPod at this time. I found that very interesting. Also, you need to have the iPod set up on a PC and formatted in FAT32. It doesn't work if the iPod is formatted in HFS+. I don't know why. The iPhone can see HFS+ just fine, but I have confirmed this on two different iPod models, and it only worked if it was FAT32. So let's open it up and see what we've got. So if you had any calendars or contacts, you can import those directly into your phone. They're ICS files and vCard files, and you can import those in directly. If you have any text files in the notes directory, you can open them up and you can copy that down to your phone or import the text. Let's take a look at photos. Now, when you would sync photos to your iPod, iTunes would downsize them to a resolution appropriate for the iPod screen, and they would save a lot of space by doing that. Unfortunately, they'd stick it in this thumbnail format, which the iPhone cannot convert or open up, and there's no apps in the App Store that could read these files, and there probably hasn't been a need before now. On your Mac or PC, there were third-party pieces of software that could convert these back to JPEG, but not on the iPhone. However, when you were syncing your photos in iTunes, there was a checkbox to also include full resolution pictures. And if you had that checked, then you'd have a separate folder here called full resolution, and you'd have just normal JPEGs. And in that case, you can view them on the phone, you can import them directly into your Photos app, or any other third-party photo app as well. So as long as you have that checked, you would be able to grab photos off the iPad and copy them and import them into your iPhone. However, when people think of the iPod, the main thing they think about is music, of course. Now, Apple didn't want people sharing MP3 files, so when they designed the iPod, they hid the folder that the music was in. And they also scrambled the names of the songs and put them in a variety of different folders. So even if you found the hidden folder and you went in there, you wouldn't know exactly what song was what unless you played it. So it was all an attempt to discourage people from sharing music. However, what's interesting on the iPhone is it ignores that it's supposed to be a hidden folder. So we can go right into it, and then we can go down into music, and here's all these weird folders it sticks everything into. But if you kind of know where you're wanting to go to get your song, they're all playable. Here's some nice, safe YouTube music. And of course, we can copy that onto the phone. Let's put it under music folder. And then we go back out of the iPod onto my phone, music folder. There's that song. Now, unfortunately, you can't import these songs into the music app on the iPhone. Apple still doesn't let you do that. However, you can import it into third-party apps that manage music and play music. So, for instance, I have the VLC app right here, and I can copy it into that and rename it and put a bunch of songs in there and manage it as its own media player. So there's that option as well. So that's pretty much it. You know, I haven't really touched an iPod in over a decade, and I really just thought, I was just trying to see if the disc would mount on the iPhone, and it turns out I kind of forgot all the files you could access on the iPod if you know where to look for it. So I think it's really cool that basically everything you would put on an iPod you could get back on the iPhone and use, with the only caveat being having your full resolution photos checked. But I thought that was really neat, so it worked out really well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. I will be having more of these in the future, but that's all for today.